Alright, so in the middle of your book, there's a page called How to Care for Your Violin. This is kind of after rental agreement, tonalization, and it's in a section called Practicing. So the first thing it says gentle. You want to think of the violin as a baby or even as your friend. Would you do that to your friend? Would you do that to a baby? So I would avoid, when you're in your lessons, swinging your violin around behind your back, and it could fall at any second. Be careful not to hit the bridge. We already talked about that. When they're getting their stuff out, they like to put the violin completely face down on the ground, and then the bridge hits the floor. So try to avoid that at all costs. When your violin's in the case, you want the case face up or on its side. Never do we want our case this way, because then that's not good on the bridge. It says rosin your bow each day that you play, but take that in moderation. If there's already a lot of rosin, then you don't want too much. It gives you a scratchy sound if there's too much. Always loosen your bow. This is actually detrimental to the stick. If your bow is over tightened and sits like this, almost completely straight for days, it will never curve again. We actually get the sustain in our bow from having the curve. They changed the bow in the 1700s, Tort and Frenchman. That's why all of our bow terms are in French. Changed this to our modern bow, so now we have a lot more control with sustaining. The Baroque violin bow used to be shaped like a regular bow from archery, and you couldn't sustain. It was a completely different sound and technique. So loosen your bow, and then tighten it when you go to play. Can you fit a pencil or your pinky in the middle? That's how you tell. In the middle of the curve. So it's starting to curve here, here, in one of those spots. You can check. Like I said before in the rosin video, you want to wipe down your violin, wipe down your strings when you're done. Sometimes I wipe this, like if you're playing it and then they're playing it, it gets like a little weird. What else? Oh yes, weather. So in North Carolina, we do have extremities in the weather, or extremes, I guess I should say. In the summertime, it's very hot, so we never want to keep our violin in the car. Picture how long you would let your dog sit in the car in the summer when you went in the store to get milk. If it's 100 degrees, I'm just taking it in on my back with me, going and grab a few things. Yes, I do get weird looks. I have that yellow case right now, and people are always like, what is that? I think that's an instrument. Likewise, you don't want to leave your violin in the car if it's really cold out. The weather, you have that one sticky door in the summer, and then in the wintertime, the door works great. So the same thing with the wood on the violin. It expands and contracts in the weather, and too much contraction, these seams are stuck together with a material made out of butterfly wings. So they do crack, it does come out. I would just be very careful. If you have little siblings around, I would make sure that they understand that this is not a toy and that, it's in a safe area over carpet. And the violin will drop. I've had many lessons, group classes, people aren't paying attention, the violin drops, or I've had children step on their violin in group class. That only happened once. He stepped right on the bridge. So just be careful with it. Another thing, you might throw your backpack from school just in the car. Mom, take my stuff. But don't throw your violin in the car. I wouldn't take it to your friend's house unless you know that it's going to be only taken out with supervision. It might be great for your friend to hear you practice a little bit, something that they don't do. Anything that you're wondering, can I do this to my violin? Just ask, would you do that to your friend? And